Welcome to Alien Theorists Theorizing Case File 359. I'm Braden.
I'm Zell.
And I'm Andrew.
Dan's gone, so you know what that means. We can finally sit back and actually defend the Jews a little bit on the show.
A little bit. It's fine.
Every time we try, get shut
Dan
down.
shuts us down right away. He's like, "Hey."
But hey, listen, you guys, I know what you're thinking. He's in Thailand. I understand the fact that Dan is both Hispanic and was part of the Navy, but he was not part of the Mexican Navy that crashed into the Brooklyn Bridge. Yeah. Okay. Did you guys see that story?
Oh my God.
That is one of the most, it's sad, rest in peace, like whatever, because a couple died. That's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Ultra. Dude, they were standing
on the mast.
Arms length. And you know those guys on the top ones who were coming, they're like, whoa.
We're getting close.
Like,
we're getting fucking close.
We sure about this, boys?
Holy fuck.
Hey, good on them, though. They did not let go. That's the worst.
Well, because apparently it's tradition for them. So they're like strapped on the mast.
To sail under the bridge strapped on.
Yeah.
Well, except they didn't sail under. They clotheslined the bridge.
Yeah, they went into
They misjudged the tide or something.
But the worst part about it, too, it's like, how far away do you think they knew they were fucked?
Yeah.
Right? Like you're sitting there staring at it.
Probably like 20 seconds out. They're like, oh fuck.
Ay, caramba.
Yeah, dude. Fucking buddy was taking a siesta at the helm there.
Hey, Braden, I noticed you didn't name this case file, which is perfect.
Well, we haven't.
I have a segment.
We haven't been naming case files in a little bit, unless we find like a dedicated UFO.
I'm telling you,
yeah,
this one needs to be named because we got a goddamn service. This is our chance to prevent something terrible.
This is true.
This is, buddy, like, we need to go full Alex Jones on this and prevent this from happening. This is our goddamn opportunity to prevent the fucking Ostrich cost. Right? Like, we gotta fucking save these.
They're gonna gas those birds.
They're gonna kill the birds. God damn it.
They're gonna gas the birds.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, dude, there's not too many times where there's a cause that we can get behind, but a government conspiracy to murder giant ostriches
in our backyard
that cured COVID. I mean, are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, we're on board.
Not only does it get your skin beautifully, get the wrinkles out, it also cures COVID.
Yeah. Well, the birds were part of a team. What people don't know what COVID is, there was an interplanetary team of all birds and mammals.
They banded together.
And these 400 ostriches 399 ostriches.
Rest in peace.
Really,
well, we gotta start like this. What if I was to tell you there was a species on Earth, walked on two legs, has two toes, can stand up to 9 feet tall, has the antibodies of Superman, can take and reverse any disease thrown at it?
Aliens.
What would you say? What is that?
Aliens.
Right? No, it's wrong. It's a fucking ostrich. We've been wrong this whole time.
You know what's crazy about this whole situation that blew my mind the most? You know, ostrich is considered red meat.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
It's red meat.
Red meat bird.
I dipped into the people, Zell's relatives. I dipped into them a bit in their farm. Spoiler, Zell's related to one of these people. And because I wanted to understand where
I absolve myself of any wrongdoing.
And like, so I guess they got into like ostrich farming to sell like the quality red meat to like diabetics because it's better for their blood sugar levels. And then they got into like the creams.
Wait a minute.
Oils.
You're saying they got those birds to kill the birds? Now, wait a minute.
And ethical ways, but then they changed. Listen, that's what they were thinking. But then they started working with this Dr. Sakamoto in Japan, who started teaching the healing ways of the ostrich. I'm serious. This is word for word. This is real. Yes.
Is this a bit?
So no, this is
not a bit.
I swear to God. This is, so they started extracting the oils from them and started like doing experiments on their yolks. They would inject, the ostriches with antibodies, and then they would they would test the eggs, right? And that's where all the fucking COVID stuff started. They basically found out that these ostriches are super birds.
Okay, for anyone who's like, what the fuck are you guys
What's
talking
going on? What is
Anyways,
it called? The ostrich?
there is
God, it's the ostrich cost.
no. We're
then-
talking
and-
about Universal Ostrich, which is a ostrich farm for meat and I guess you say beauty products,
Yeah.
creams, and a whole host of other experimental research stuff in a little tiny town of Edgewood, BC, in the Kootenays.
Soon to be renamed fucking Auschwitz.
Oh, yeah, that one teed up. Eh?
Too good, man.
Just wait, sitting on that.
Just sitting. He's been sitting on it all day.
Oh,
So we
that's
have
good.
So we have this tiny town.
Yo, can we make sure that they save the ostrich and they're in a star?
Oh, that's horrible.
Oh, that's good.
So we have this tiny
There is
town.
a lot of parallels.
Yeah,
I'm serious. That's where
no, for real.
it's the ostrich
Tiny
cost.
town with ostrich farm. It started. I'm not sure exactly when, but when I was a kid, it started. So I was maybe like 8. So we're talking like fucking 30 years almost.
Yeah.
And one of
Zell's
my
dad
uncles,
famously got missed out on the bottom floor. He could have got in on the ground level.
he could have got in for a penny on the dollar on the entry fee to this project, but he missed out. To his not chagrin.
I bet you his skin would be a lot smoother if we got in.
It's true. So he started this farm, and it started with just a few ostriches, and throughout the years, it's grown to hundreds and hundreds of ostriches.
Like 400 of them.
There was like almost, like 450 before this last year. There was the H5N1 bird flu outbreak, which was just destroying birds, chickens, quail, geese all over the North America.
Well, it's crazy. Didn't a teenager die from it too, or almost died? Got super sick.
I've heard like a couple people, it did jump to people.
Yeah, I think in BC,
they-
anyways, there was a teenager that got really, really sick.
Yeah, and they say if that actually jumped as a pandemic to humans, like COVID would look like nothing. It would. That's like a really terribly
It
high
would
percentage
Look like
death.
a really bad flu.
Like we're talking like no, we're talking.
You would
They say
get-
like
You're really sick.
You'd be really.
no. If you got it, there's like 10% of people might die. Kind of like this H1N1 Spanish flu the
Yeah.
first time around.
Listen, there's that many people die unless you get this fucking experimental vaccine.
the
And,
ostrich shot.
Yeah.
So that's the reason. That's why they've been in the news lately. But back in COVID, they just you know what? Let's talk about some stuff about ostriches first. I had to let's just bring it up. I had to go
Raptors.
back because I didn't know much about ostriches.
They're fast. The ostriches
yeah.
are fast as fuck, man.
Okay, so one of the main things about ostriches that why we're talking about them, why we've got a little conspiracy on our hands, a little government intrusion into private research. Ostriches have an antibody called IgY that's so it's like the most heat resistant antibody, can survive up to like 70 degrees in all pretty much any warm-blooded creature like that.
Well, it's like it's like a cross-reactive neutralization antibody, right? Like that's why it's so fucking rare.
And it's also rare because it responds to like almost any disease. It's like any virus. So SARS, the flu, some bacteria, a lot of snake venom. They found out that if you fucking some type of venomous snake bites an ostrich, that will kill most creatures
Superbirds.
in like 2 minutes. The ostrich just shakes it off and then stomps it to death.
Dude, they're super birds.
Super birds, dude. They
Super
stand like 7 to 9 feet tall, like 200 to 300 pounds, like the biggest ones.
They're not even really fucking birds though.
Dude, they're dinosaurs.
That's what I mean. They look like raptors. Like they're fucking scary.
They only have 2 toes, which is, for some reason looks really weird.
Yeah.
They're a dinosaur.
Look fucking so weird. Their eggs, they have so I remember as a kid, we would have scrambled ostrich egg. Just
Flintstones.
crack it open and it's like 2 dozen eggs, 1 egg. Like that's how much fucking meat.
Shouldn't you be a fucking superhuman then if you're eating all those antibodies in the fucking your egg
I
yolk?
haven't died from anything yet, so maybe I am.
Maybe.
Dude, this guy's
doubt
got
it.
so much. This guy's got so much fucking ostrich in him. It's fucking attacking the collagen and in the skin.
I got so much. Yeah, it's inducing an autoimmune
That's why
response.
you're the color of yolk.
I wish I was that yellow. And so back during COVID, they're actually researching through using the antibodies of the ostriches. They were trying to make like a mask that would neutralize COVID on the way in if you wore it. Fuck. They're trying to like inject ostrich antibodies into the mask, so when you breathe COVID through it, it would like kill it on the way in. I guess.
Just they're wearing a fucking ostrich skin on their,
Oh,
fucking
buddy.
Dwight.
Going all Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah.
They like
Everyone's walking around wearing ostrich beaks.
they got like sounds like so they ended up working. So they were working with that Dr. Sakamoto. He's the one that got him into the naturopathic elements and the healing factors of the ostrich. And then they partnered up with his name's Frederick Leduc, who's another Canadian who famously worked with like chickens and chicken antibodies, which is something that's pretty predominant in medical research, apparently. And he's the guy that did the tests with COVID to find out that it would create antibodies for the COVID vaccine.
Like super antibodies.
And then after him being like, yes, this works, this is awesome, I can't wait to start working with you guys, they reached out to him because they hadn't heard from him for a while. And he was basically like, I sold all my company, all my research, everything, and I could no longer talk to you guys anymore. Like, see you later, bye.
Signed an NDA, sailed off into the sunset.
It's interesting.
Never to be heard of. I wonder why. What else were they doing during
Big Pharma?
Oh, 100%, dude. You hear
the
that with
rollout
like
of the COVID vaccine?
You hear that with like big oil and like cars. Like people will have an innovation that makes cars more fuel efficient. They'll get bought up.
Or they'll get fucking murdered like the
NDA.
guy that created the water-powered car.
Yeah.
You got poisoned, remember?
Yeah, but like that's not uncommon. So it's like, this guy,
I've been poisoned.
if this guy's got like some good research and stuff, and he's Big Pharma's like, hey, here's a fucking blank check. Sign this NDA and forget about it. He's like,
All right, so hey, do you want to get fucking poisoned like the water car guy?
yeah, he's like, you want
Right?
to
Forget about it.
Hey, you ever hear the name of Barry Honey Sherman? No.
Oh, shit.
All right. Well, sign this. See you later. There's a famous hit in Canada. We've talked about it on this case of two pharmaceutical powerhouses, the Shermans. They had a no name, executed, still unsolved. They were fucking executed
In their own home.
assassinated in their home.
Producing generic drugs at 1/10
Yes.
the cost.
Yes. So it's like that industry, 100%, man, shady. It's corrupt. It's 100%.
Dude, because when you know what, this is going to get banned on YouTube. We don't give a fuck anymore.
No, it's over.
During the rollout of the COVID vaccine, the narrative was so strong that vaccine was the only fucking way. That's
Stop
it.
the spread.
Yeah.
Stop the spread.
Stop the spread.
Stop the spread.
Save
If
your
you don't,
life.
you're a bad person.
If you get the vaccine, you can't get the disease. Then, oh wait, you can get the disease, but you can spread it, but then you'll be fine. Oh wait, you still go to the hospital, but you won't die.
And any other
But then some
ulterior,
people die.
like
Then some
any
people
kind of
die from
ulterior treatment
pericarditis.
was shunned. Like ivermectin, like people were like, "Oh, you pushed the wormer," and it was super frowned upon to slit an ostrich's throat and drink its blood, right?
Yeah,
and
no.
so everyone was totally against
Which
any
my
kind
whole
of different
family
treatment.
actually did. We started drinking the blood. We knew right away that was the way forward. You know, ostrich gets old.
You took the blood ethically, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they did a ceremony first.
Right.
They all came in cloaks.
No, it's just like you've heard of adrenochrome, right?
Yeah.
So
Why does Zell's family reunions look like Eyes Wide Shut? Just fucking-
so we've talked about here and there like the reptilians need that adrenochrome, right?
Need it.
Like which is produced only during like high stress situations.
Yeah.
So that's what you got to
Kids.
do, unfortunately, to the ostrich to get that right at the end. You got to terrify it almost to death and then slit its throat and drink the blood.
As soon as it drives its head into the dirt, then you
Well, you
you
just
know-
slice it off like a stem and
Yeah.
just take a drink from the
And it
fucking
just
neck.
shooting out
like a
fire
like a
hose.
wacky
Yeah.
hose, and everyone comes around.
Wacky inflatable arm guy.
Yeah.
And that's how you survive COVID, right?
Yeah. All right. I mean,
So,
you
I mean,
did
that's-
survive COVID.
Sure.
We all
You
survived.
did.
So the recent stuff with the farm is that since this bird flu, all these birds have been basically the government's come in and been like, we got to call them all. Call them
Whoa,
all.
whoa, we got
40 birds died.
we're
Yeah.
jumping.
flu.
We're jumping ahead. Yeah. So from supposedly died from the bird flu.
Yep.
Right.
Allegedly.
So they So they like it was half their flock, or is it flock?
I think so.
A flock of seagulls.
It's a flock.
Flock
It's a bird.
Ostriches.
It's a flock of ostrich.
Ostriches. Anyways, half their flock got sick, right? And then 50 ended up dying from half the flock. When you're dealing with how many they had, like they had 500,
like 450. Yeah.
Yeah. So then they called in who did they call? Was it is that the CFIA, the Canadian
Food Inspection
Agency?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They came in and supposedly like there was, by the time that they came in to do the testing, there were 2 dead ostriches on the property that had been dead for like fucking 18 hours, supposedly just sitting there rotting. And they did PCR tests on them that came back positive for bird flu.
I upcycled that bitch 40 times.
What?
Like the PCR test when COVID, it would show false positives all the time because they would upcycle it like 40 times.
Yeah.
Yep, everyone's got COVID. He's like,
Everybody.
everyone.
I'm pretty sure there was a time where every single person that took a PCR test had a positive result.
That's what I mean. They had them ramped up so hard that they would like generate the fucking virus out of the machine itself. Like,
Yeah.
yep, you got it.
You got it. Stay home from work.
Now you get extra money from the government for having that COVID test positive.
But then you got to pay it back. Oh, that's crazy.
So these things, based on the test from these 2 dead birds, they were like, we've seen enough. Kill them all.
Well, they were not just the ostriches. They're killing entire flocks of chickens and turkeys and anything that tested positive. They would kill. They would cull the whole thing to try and stop the spread. That was the mandate.
The big concern with that, it's like migration animals that migrate, right? Like ducks and birds and shit like that, right? Whereas ostriches are sedentary, basically, right?
They can run really fast.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Yeah, right. They're not going anywhere. They're not traveling. They're not fucking flying south. Could you imagine if ostriches could fly?
That's a dragon, dude.
Dude, for real, that's a
Fucking
dragon.
dragon.
100% that's a dragon. Jesus.
Pterodactyl.
Oh my God. Is that what dragons were? Did ostriches devolve?
They have little fucking flappy wings.
That's what I mean.
Like
Probably.
at one point, do you think they could have?
Dude,
did they
hold
fly?
on.
Like,
fuck the fucking farm.
All right.
We gotta get into dragons.
hold on. Okay, hold on.
Segue to dragons.
Yes.
Here's my questions though. Here's my question.
Ostriches and dragons. Tell me that they're not the same thing.
Yeah,
Prove
but
it.
my question in the evolutionary chain is:
Evolution?
Are we
How high are
seeing?
they?
No, what I'm
Elevation?
saying is, are ostriches right now? Could they fly, and we're just seeing their wings get smaller and smaller, or are they evolving? And in another couple hundred years, their wings are getting bigger and bigger.
No,
right?
no.
Like, where are we on the chain?
Well, it's like when they think with us, we're the visitor, we're the small grays coming from the future, right? These ostriches got so smart at some point and so fast that they fucking didn't need their vestigial wings. They didn't need them anymore.
Like Flashpoint Paradox, they fucking ran back in time.
Yeah. That's
And they
it.
got stuck here.
Tell me I'm wrong.
But that's my question. Like, because if they could fly, it'd be hilarious. Because
It'd be terrifying. We'd be
what
fucked.
would they do with their legs? They'd like just be fucking.
They'd be grabbing your head as they come. They fucking squash your head with their 2 toes.
They would need wings like a 20-foot wingspan in order to fly with those giant fucking legs they have.
Yeah, big
jacked.
legs.
Just running.
Do
all
they
the
have
time.
hollow bones?
Probably,
Like
but
a
they have giant
like a bird?
legs.
Yeah, they're huge.
I'm sure the bone structure is pretty similar, but they have these thick ass meaty legs.
Yeah.
They can run like 70 clicks in a sprint, and they can run like forever at like 40. They can just run like a marathon.
Ostriches have solid, dense bones.
Yeah.
Dragons.
Oh shit!
They're dragons.
Well, there's no way they could fly then, which
Yeah,
means
no way.
Yes.
No, they could, but
They had big, powerful wings.
You need 20-foot wings in order to fly.
And you got to be able to jump with them fucking big ass legs.
Well, you can run. So this is how you fly as an ostrich dragon. You run really fast.
Yep.
Jump off a cliff and soar.
glide.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
You don't have to like flap to take off. You just run really fast and like hang glide off the edge. Catch those updrafts. You can probably
Yeah,
fly
I'd
for
imagine
2 days.
you probably couldn't run that fast if you had hollow bones. Imagine you try to sprint and your legs would just break.
I don't know. Chickens are pretty fast.
No, but they kind of they have wing assist.
They don't have
They
like
do, yeah.
power. Ostriches have fucking power, man.
They do have power.
They're like Usain
They have
Bolts.
this. You know what? This is another hypothetical we could do because the ostrich kick has the same psi force as a gorilla's punch at 2,000 pounds per square inch. So how many fucking grown men could take down 100 grown men versus ostrich?
Dude, no problem, dude. They're not built. They're not.
Ostrich
Yeah, we
up,
would.
dude.
The three of us would fuck up an ostrich.
Like, I would
No way.
step on that fucking ostrich ass feet and just speed bag his head. Bah, 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 bah.
He would kick your head right off.
No, he wouldn't do
Gone.
shit to me.
What I'm saying is,
Gone.
one of us.
Buddy, listen.
I think the biggest problem is if
That'd
you
be
try
the
to jump
real
on their
fucking
back, their neck just
ostrich.
flips over. So you just flip over, like trying to. Like that thing's all neck, dude. You can get that thing.
Oh, buddy, you think about the guillotines, you get that thing in right away. Just
You can double wrap that guillotine. I'm just saying. I think
you could
the three of us
armbar
could-
its neck.
You think so?
Yeah.
You think three? You think it's three human beings? You think 3 human beings could kill? an
I
ostrich?
think the three of us.
bare hands.
I think the three of us barehanded.
What if it
could
just?
fuck up
I
the
guarantee you the three of
What
us
if it just?
do it.
We just chased it for a while. We could never catch it. Just tired us out.
Oh yeah, no, we'd
to
be
death.
fucked. We'd never catch this thing.
So I mean, how are you going to catch it? It's going to wear you out, like a good defensive fighter, and then it's going to kick you in the
no,
head.
dude,
Fucking
it's-
keep driving, pop out doors open, get out, fucking hit it, hop
No
back
cars.
in, keep going.
Bare
No
hands.
cars. Well, I'm just gonna.
Well,
say
you don't hit it with the car, but you drive, chase it
There's
down,
no way.
get out,
There's
punch
no
it.
way the ostrich has the endurance though to keep going. Like
It does.
we're
It has insane endurance. It can
Yeah, it
run
does.
like a
They can
marathon
run
at 40
forever.
kilometers an hour. It's insane.
Oh fuck. All right.
Yeah.
So
But it's a fight. It's not. We're not. It's not hunting. We're not chasing.
and
it's
we're in a
fighting
pen,
us.
right? So it's triangulation,
Yeah.
right? So we're gonna slowly pinch this thing out, cut it off, right?
Yeah, buddy.
I don't want to fight.
Listen, we're gonna be in a fucking steel cage, and Joe Rogan's gonna be on the fucking at the table talking about it. Okay.
So these guys. So where are we? The government comes in.
Food
They want
Inspection Agency ordered
Yeah.
a culling of the ostriches.
Yeah.
And they took it to court saying, and their point was what Andrew said is these birds are not migratory. They can't fly. They're stuck in the pen.
We live in an
We have-
isolated area.
They have herd immunity now, but they wouldn't, this agency wouldn't supply them any more tests to test the live birds for antibodies. And they're like, hey, we have all this research from COVID saying that these birds respond incredibly well to any new virus. And we'd like to test it for scientific research. And maybe we can do something for other like flocks of birds, chickens, whatever that could help them with some type of like maybe a vaccine. And they're like, nope, they're all dead. We have
That's
to kill
crazy.
them all.
They're like literally they're all healed now. They're no longer symptomatic.
5
Come
months.
test them. Like
5
it's
months, yeah.
yeah, it's fucking crazy.
And
And,
they're
like,
just
and I
blanket
actually feel
murder.
I feel terrible for these people too, because I listen to this lady and I listen to her talk, and she's like, I had learned so much about ostriches, like the red meat and shit. But like, the major, like a lot of these ostriches are 20 plus years old,
They live for a while.
and they've known them their entire. Like she's like, these are like I've known these ostriches for 20 years, right? Like
It's
they're
not like a chicken, right? A
No.
chicken, like you don't
Yeah.
get attached to a chicken.
I probably would. I'd be a little bit of a pussy with a chicken.
Yeah, you do get attached to animals.
I do. But like it's just sad. Like I genuinely, and then when you look at it, like, so the government was willing to pay somewhere upwards of like $1,000, I think, or to $1,200 a bird, right?
They're
Which
gonna
would
get
end
all-
up
like
being around $1 million or $2 million,
I think it was 2 million.
right? From the government was going to pay him off to call all these birds. You would think these people who, I don't know how fucking the ostrich skincare fucking industry is. I don't know how well they're doing, but
I have
like
an
I'm telling you,
inside
they're going to be
scoop, and
making
I'm telling you, it's not great.
exactly. So they would be making a profit from the government coming in and paying them out, but they genuinely want to save these birds.
Well, they
It's
said
fucking sad.
they might make a profit, but if you go with cost of bird over its lifetime, they actually say it's not enough to cover all they put into those birds.
Well, they say they want 7,500 per bird.
That's what I mean. They're like,
Yeah,
well,
that's what
what
they're
you're
saying.
giving us is not the value of the life of the bird.
But
So they'll let the birds die. That's what you're saying. Just
for the right price, absolutely.
price.
Yeah. Well,
If they were
everybody's
chickens,
got a price.
Like all the other chicken farmers, like let tens of thousands of birds die because they give them $10 a chicken or whatever, and they're like, yeah, we'll start again. No big deal. But these ostriches, they're kind of like horses in a way, like family pets.
Yeah, I'm sure they got little personalities. But you know what though? That's a sad thing though. It's like,
They don't.
I bet
though,
you
because
get to
they're
know a fucking
one of the
chicken.
dumbest birds on the planet. Actually, they have a brain the size of a walnut. Their eyeballs are bigger than their brain. No joke.
That's crazy.
That's for hunting.
It is. They have 2-inch eyes, like huge fucking eyeballs on the front of their head. The predators.
That's predator. That's 100% predator on the side. Now, so like since this, like they've obviously been fighting the call, and this has turned into like protests. Like people are camping the property, like protesters, not allowing government agents to enter the property.
It's attracting a lot of the same crowd as the fucking convoy, like the truckers, right? Like a lot of these people are adopting this fight as well, right?
Well, it is overstep. Like you look at it, like as reasonable people, you hear what they're saying. Test the birds again. If the birds are good, what's the point? That doesn't make sense. Like, you know what I mean? Like everything checks out. So it is at that point just government overreach for the like. We said so. That's kind of what it feels like.
Well, and that's like for me, I feel like that's just their answer. It's like you could also look at it as like a better safe than sorry type situation. Like you're dealing with potentially another pandemic. You don't want to fucking think about that. So let's just go there. And we're just gonna fucking wipe them out.
Right?
Well, because that's where you get into. That's in their defense. They have this like blanket mandate. Call any farm exposed to this new virus.
Hey, we're just doing our job. We're just doing what we're just following orders.
Farm, yeah, you make a concession for one farm, and now you have like precedent for all farms to file a lawsuit and kind of fight it that way. So I see both sides.
Me too.
So five months in the courts. Just this last week, they said the cull will go ahead. It's a mandatory cull. We won't tell you what day. Blah blah blah. And then so now that's even attracted more people. Now you have dozens of people camping out.
You got fucking RFK writing sternly written letters.
RFK and members of their American counterpart to the Canadian Food Inspection Agency or whatever it's called. What is it called in the States?
I don't know.
Anyways, they had like a phone call with the head of this inspection agency, and they said like, "Hey, we'd like to study the ostriches and their antibodies that could maybe help create a vaccine." And they're like, "Maybe, but they will die.
They're gonna die either
You
way.
can study their bodies." So there's now like a group of people like basically camping the property, not allowing government agent access. And some of the more recent news that came out is in the evening, I think 4 or 5 nights ago, a gigantic drone flew over the property.
Drone strike.
And drone striked an ostrich.
It wasn't a missile. It was it was a mounted gun.
Yeah. But a giant, so like, I had so many questions because I was just like, is our
Before
government...
we get too crazy though, like, do we think that actually happened?
It did happen.
Does it?
They have one dead...
They have a dead ostrich. That's all I know.
I've been saving this, boys. I've been saving this. I got an inside scoop. There was hundreds of drones, and the campers were fighting back with their own guns.
The whole sky was
lit up. It was fucking apocalypse. The drones were coming in. Everyone had shotguns.
It was a firefight.
They were skeet shooting. It was a battle. 3 people actually died, and a couple ostriches. It was tragic.
CBC's not reporting on any of it.
They don't, don't trust CBC. They don't tell you the truth.
No.
Gotta go to the Reddit boards.
That's where you
find the hard truth.
But like, I was kind of questioning that myself because my first thought, dude, as a huge skeptic and hearing the story and kind of knowing everything, I was just like, my first thought was, is the government really using fucking armed drones to cull ostriches? Like, that's
why?
insane.
Why wouldn't they just wipe them all out? I'm like, doesn't make any sense. Why would they just take
Why kill one? Right?
Yeah,
and so then I'm like, is there someone out there fucking that's mounting firearms to...
This is my chance.
This is my chance.
I've been waiting for this.
Right? And they said
he's trying to start the fucking ostrich wars is what he's trying to do.
They said it was a lot.
That fucking ostrich, that ostrich he shot was like Franz Ferdinand.
Right?
It's gonna go down.
You think you thought it was...
Or not Franz Ferdinand, sorry, the Archduke No, it was France. Yeah, France
Yeah,
Ferdinand.
World War One, right?
Gavrilo Princip.
Principe.
He's
Yeah,
the one
that's
that
what
shot.
set it off. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the guy that shot.
Yeah, if you thought it was the
Ferdinand.
Russian invasion into Ukraine
No.
or the retaliation of Israel into Palestine, you were wrong.
The
It
shots
was the
just
killing of
fired.
this ostrich that will start World War III.
The Ostrich.
Part of me though,
So good. That's the name of the episode.
yeah, Ostrich. The part of me also though was like, was this an inside job to garner more media attention for
Absolutely.
right?
Good chance.
Because it was like, it just.
I'm
seemed-
telling you what happened is another one of their fucking ostriches died from fucking bird flu, and they're like, oh fuck. So they fucking
Shoot it in the head.
they give her a little fucking post-mortem fucking pop. Posthumous fucking bullet shot to the head.
I mean, they've raised almost $100,000.
Probably not near enough though.
No.
To
But
fight, you
what
gotta
is
fight
that?
the government in court and stuff. It's not going to win.
No,
Not
it's
100
endless.
grand.
No.
Think of the stuff they spend money on. They could- Another 100 grand on lawyer fees is nothing for them.
But there has been, the crazy thing is there is already a precedent for an exception too, because in 2022, a turkey farm in BC was two barns were had to be called because of bird flu, but a third there was none detected, so they allowed it even though there was some evidence that birds went from different like barn to barn, but they were allowed
Did they
to
test
save
them?
one.
Yeah, but the difference is turkeys didn't used to be dragons. They're worried.
The difference
Trying
is
to hide the truth.
turkeys don't hold the universal cure to cancer in their blood.
It's
All right?
true.
Everyone knows fresh ostrich blood cures all forms of cancer.
That's what
Gotta
the
bathe
elite
in it.
wants. That's what the elite. Forget your kids. They want
No,
the
they want.
birds.
That's what I mean. They want that adrenochrome and the antibodies from a fucking hyped up, spooked ostrich, and they want to slit its throat right there and drink the blood.
Buddy, that was the whole plan. They knew the king was coming to town, right? And the king and fucking Carney wanted to have an ostrich blood bubble bath together to
Right?
commence his new fucking position, right? That was the plan. We blew. Or he's still here for a couple more days.
Hopefully, it was going to help with the inflammation in his fingers.
but- yeah. Oh. He's not a healthy looking man. How old
Guy's
is the
got-
king?
He's
Dude,
a
the guy's got
sickly-looking
balloon
dude, man.
fingers. It disgusts me.
Well,
every
how
time
old
I
is
see
he?
his
You
hand.
think?
King, what's his name? King Charles?
Yeah.
King Charles.
What's his age?
Got to be at least 70.
He's 76. I thought he was 88.
Yeah, he looks like fucking shit.
Looks bad for having all the money in the world and you have the best doctors.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's
So he's like the same age as Sylvester Stallone, and Sylvester Stallone is still jacked.
Well, old Sly's on gear like a motherfucker though. But that's the way to do it, I think.
Hey,
when you why
A little
not?
bit of gear will probably help you when you're old like that.
there's something to say
dude, as
about those
soon as you're-
purebreds, man.
Dude, as soon as your body stops producing fucking hormones, why not? We'd be stupid not to.
Live longer, healthier.
Buddy, I'm gonna be when I hit like 55, I'm gonna be a little bowling ball like Joe Rogan. I want
You
that
are
big
gonna be-
GH
You're gonna
gut.
have the same build as Joe Rogan, man.
Oh yeah, I can't.
beat red
Yeah.
all the time.
Just no neck, just fucking back of skull to
Looking
delts.
like a villain from Batman. It's the bat.
The
Joe Rogan's hit a
interest-
whole nother level of body type.
Dude, he honestly looks like a primate. It's bizarre.
dude.
Like
It's
he's
insane.
it's a cool look. Don't get me wrong. I'm not chirping the guy, but
can
like,
pull it off.
He's fucking so. He's like a little ball of muscle. It's crazy.
Little pit bull. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nuts.
No neck. Zero neck.
yeah,
Yeah.
just yeah, super tiny. The so these protests, it'll be interesting to see in the coming days, because I wonder if they're gonna have to roll up with RCMP and like
They've already
it's gonna
been
be
there.
it's gonna be a
RCMP
show.
are investigating the killed ostrich.
Yeah,
the two
but
killed
when they
ostrich.
come to cull the birds,
When they when the RCMP show up, do you think it's like like an episode of like Law and Order and shit? They're down there, got the little fucking dun 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 dun.
Well, the crazy
Looks
thing
like
about the
you
story
punched
is
your last ticket, amigo.
the judge. So the judge says, "All right, the cull must go ahead. Like they have like all the right paperwork. They have the right to do it." And then the regional district of this area, which owns the landfill which we dispose of the carcass, said, "We're not accepting any ostriches."
No, they got to bury them on the
Zero.
property. Do you know
Yeah.
they have to fucking make their own graves and bury them on the property.
And now they said, we're gonna kill them, and you have to dispose of them in your own fucking pasture. Just dig a giant hole, mass grave. Ostrich.
It's the Ostrich, boys.
It's the Ostrich.
Ostrich.
Like, how do you? And what are you gonna shoot them all? Just go. That's a lot.
No, they like smother them or gas them.
Gas them.
Yeah,
They're gonna gas them. That's the most efficient way. That's why.
Yeah, they're gonna number them and then gas them.
You got to keep track.
Yeah, well, there's lots, right?
So
the Ostrich is real, boys. This is
real.
Tragic.
It's horrible.
We didn't learn our lessons.
No.
Where does it stop?
It is great.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Buddy, ostriches first, right? Tomorrow it's ostriches, then what? Right? Then it's you and me.
Ostrich, you know what's even worse is I'm pretty sure this is how fucking China dealt with the pandemic. We just don't know.
Dude, we have no idea what happened.
Yeah, literally all I remember seeing videos of those fucking cremation sites going 24/7 and vans just picking people up.
Oh, dude. Sometimes you'd see those like fumigation things like rolling up to apartments, and I'm like, it's poison. They're just poisoning the whole apartment. Yeah, fumigating the whole apartment with everyone in there. Oh yeah, it's insane. But like, what would have happened there during that time? And like,
who knows? If you
they were ground zero. They were ground zero. So it's like they didn't do anyone any favors. They're like, no problem.
Can we dip back into that at some point? Because there's so much new shit.
Yeah, we dip right.
Like about those Canadian soldiers too. Like there's a bunch of fucking
stuff the Winnipeg lab connection to
crazy,
Wuhan.
man.
What was that? What's that?
I have to refresh myself. But pretty much there was people that worked at the Wuhan lab and people that worked at the Winnipeg lab, and it was like direct cahoots.
Yeah, well,
moving viruses and a whole deal.
Well, and then there was like that. Oh God, I'm gonna butcher this. I gotta look it up, but they were like competing in some type of like military games, right? And there was a bunch of soldiers that ended up getting COVID way before the fucking pandemic.
COVID symptoms. Yep.
Yeah.
What a crazy time that there's this coronavirus lab in Wuhan that studies coronaviruses and takes them apart and puts them together, where a virus started, and people said, hey, there's a chance that might have started from the lab, and they go, you're a conspiracy theorist, and you will be deplatformed and banned from everything for saying it. And then now they go, high chance. That's probably what happened.
Probably wasn't the pangolins, for being honest.
The bats to the pangolins to the person, he coughed on his brother. Someone died. Like,
so ashamed of myself. I hate it. I think back to that time, I'm like, I've done some horrible things and a lot of stuff to be embarrassed about in my life. I'm probably the most embarrassed.
You were in the shit.
That period of my time of my life. Honestly,
you were in the shit.
I was a fucking card carrying sheep.
You know insane. What the problem is? You know what the problem is? Then they've that was so bad, and like the fallout of that has been so bad that it's created a new generation of people who are skeptic of all vaccines.
That right there, what you just mentioned, is literally the real long COVID. I have long COVID now. Yeah. I fucking doubt everything and feel like everyone's lying to me.
Dude, I was
at all times.
I got into it a little bit with, and maybe you can enlighten me. The nurse didn't. But I was just, because they were talking about the scheduled vaccines. And listen, I have no qualms about vaccines, but I'm like, now I'm just like, So I'm reading about them. And I'm like, in one of the ones that they give your babies is hepatitis B. And I was like,
of course
I was like, how is hepatitis B transmitted?
Babies are having unprotected sex all the time and playing with dirty needles. That's normal.
And with blood. And I was like, why?
It's blood transmitted. Yeah.
And fluid. And I said, why do they need this one right away? And she goes, well, to protect other kids and themselves. And I said, well, if other kids have it, why wouldn't they be protected then?
Doesn't make any sense.
And then she's like, no. And I'm like, I just don't understand why my baby needs it right away.
Well, it's like you've never seen anything.
I don't have hepatitis B.
Hepatitis is not part of the Canadian schedule.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, they offer it as soon as your baby's born.
I did not get one as soon as baby's born.
It's the oral one that they give them.
Nope, did not get that.
Really?
Nope.
Oh.
hepatitis at birth? No.
Yep.
Well,
Yes.
no, it's like 3 months or 4 months. It's part of the first round of shots.
Well, they. Oh yeah, maybe.
No, because I'm pretty sure Steph got an hepatitis A, B because we're going to Mexico, and the doctor was like, should look at it. And then
Yeah.
Steph was like, well, get it. I was like, sure. But that was like not one they we're getting.
It's the Hep T.
I know the
free to
Canadian
babies
vaccine
as part of
schedule
the
is like
routine
1/3 of the American schedule.
immune.
No,
I'm on
yeah.
British Columbia HealthLink BC. It's part of the vaccine schedule that you get.
Yeah, but
Babies receive
not at
hepatitis
birth.
B vaccine at birth if their mother has hepatitis B or is at high risk of infection. A baby should also get the vaccine at birth. If a household
it's not
member,
mandatory at birth. There's no chance, dude.
I'm telling you, yes. It's
not
not mandatory.
they just give it.
They
to you.
offer
Like,
it. They're like, you should get this, and then most people just say yes.
No, they didn't offer that to me, but they did get it when we went to Mexico, and I was like,
The baby
well,
will
it was
receive
more for A because A is through bad ice,
bad
bad
the
water.
baby will receive doses of hepatitis B vaccine at 2, 4, and 6 months of age.
2 years, yeah, that's right, because
2,
Jackson
4,
was.
and 6 months.
I don't know, because when I got it, they said, oh, he's not quite old enough, but you can get it if you want, and that was before he was a year
See,
old.
it wasn't even offered to me as a possibility, but they're not for another little while, and I was just like, but I'm just like, that's my question. I'm like, well, why? Why do they need them all at the same time? Why do
It's got me doubting all. Like even Niles getting his next round of shots here soon at school, and I'm just like, do we have to?
Dude, all of them are fine. The MMR vaccine, both my kids ruined them for 2 weeks. To the point when I was like, was that a mistake?
What's the
Yeah,
MMR?
well, it's
What's the
horrible.
MMR?
Measles, mumps, and rubella all at once.
Oh yeah.
And that's a mother. Imagine that. Your
That was a
body's like
motherfucker, man.
never been exposed to anything, and then you're jabbing it with all these pharmaceuticals. It's fucking crazy.
I didn't get into it with the nurse, but I was like, why do they give them all at once? They're like, oh, we find the body responds equally the same if you give them 3 or 1 or whatever. I was like,
That doesn't feel. Like
when
it
would
makes
they
sense to me.
ever get all 3 diseases at the same time, ever in real life? And she went, well, it's possible. I went, okay.
Well, they're not, and then and this is no offense to them or anything, but they're not really equipped to have that conversation.
No, they were just
Right?
that's
Like,
doing
it's-
their job. I didn't blame them. We got the shots. I've got all the shots. It's whatever. But I agree with Andrew. The long COVID is like the distrust now.
In the medical system and
Not
trust the
necessarily
science.
medical
It's
system.
not even just medical system now.
Yeah.
It's genuinely like I had to take a
administrative
step
systems.
back because, dude, I got so doom and gloom with this government that I'm like, there was no doubt in my mind that the man that was taking over our country was doing it strictly to push the WEF agenda and crash the fucking middle. But like it's crazy
about it.
It might still be right about that, but the crazy thing to me is there was no other option. To me, I couldn't fathom him doing this to try and make Canada a better place. Like there's no part of me that was like, there is a possibility he's just trying to be, he's a great economist and wants to, like it. You know what I mean? Like it's just
they made a generation of Dale Gribbles is what they've done.
It's honestly,
For
it's
sure, dude.
it's the reason why I fucking am using that fucking flip phone now. Like I need to get off my phone. This is my new phone. I can't Google anything on it. I can't do anything on it anymore
That's what I'm talking about.
because I got a problem.
Yeah.
I like that. Is that a razor?
No, it's a fucking it's
nice.
cat.
What do you have? Anything on it? Email or anything?
Yeah. So I got it because
I would need email just for work. But that's
Well,
what-
no,
I could get,
no,
I
no,
could
listen,
Get off everything else. but
it has one of the oldest versions of Android on it, so you can get a few things on it. That's why I got this one, so I can get like my work scheduling app and all that type of shit. But like, it's way too annoying
Just
to
bare
scroll
bones.
anything on it.
yeah,
Like you can't like it. So that, and I think you can get podcasts. So
I like the flip too.
and it's fucking waterproof,
Oh, that's cool.
and it's like a brick. It's fucking solid, boys. So
You could run that bitch over.
Or honestly, as soon as my iPhone, shits the bed, and I don't know what number this iPhone is. I have kids now. I can't afford a new iPhone. That's what I'm going with. I might bust out the old '80s fucking
but
brick phone.
But I don't know, man. Like I would love to break this mindset I'm in. I would love to break this long COVID because it's fucking exhausting and it's depressing.
Yeah, but it's depressing. But at the same time, it's not just you just believing some crazy stuff. You're believing some stuff that you were actually purposefully lied to about.
Yeah, experience.
Right?
Like we experience.
It's not like you're just conspiracy theory. Oh, vaccines, blah blah. Yeah, you know what? Vaccines are probably mostly good. Do we give too many? Maybe, but most are probably fine. They've been around for a long time. It's probably not a big deal. But the fact that we got this one, the last one, pushed down so hard with all the bad information and the narrative changed like 15 times over 6 months, it's crazy. Dude, ruined it for everybody.
And they use such a trusted like source, like the
trust
healthcare.
the science. What a slogan, man.
Yeah, like, dude, who's going to be against that?
Don't do your own research.
The propaganda was fucking insane that we went through. And it
trust the science of a 30,000 person trial that actually didn't show anything in the...
It's crazy. But, and like, even the crazy thing too is like being a part of it. Cause I'm like, I was seeing sick people.
Yeah. No,
I bought right into it, man.
And that's why you brought in.
I was walking around in a fucking garbage bag for fucking how many months? You know, like it was crazy. It was fucking nuts. It's
like there's no doubt COVID. I had it. I was so fucking sick. One of the sickest I've ever been.
No doubt.
Weirdest set of symptoms.
Yes.
Like the most bizarre set of symptoms ever.
It was like it was looking for a weak spot. Like that's what it was doing. Like if
probing
it was in your
every
sinuses,
part of your body.
And it's like, oh, can't get you there. Next day, it's like you're like fucking fever and chills. Can't get you there. Then your joints. It was fucked. It was like it's smart.
Well, and then some days you'd be like, oh, I don't feel that bad.
For sure.
And then it's crazy.
Right. And then, so it's like when you feel that, then you're like, yeah, this is real. This is happening. And then, you know, it's funny because it's like, I always kind of forget that it was Trump that with Operation Warp Speed that got this like off the fucking ground with the vaccines. And it's funny that that's the case because I think Biden always gets credited with a lot of the COVID response. Like I know in like my circles with like Jamie's grandparents and stuff, they're always like, Biden handled COVID so well. I'm like, with what? What did he do? He didn't do. The vaccines were already like done by Trump beforehand, but it's like,
but they weren't being shot in people's arms till well after Trump.
Yeah. But the wheels were in motion, so it's like that propaganda campaign and stuff was already like.
The contracts had been signed, the money had been printed.
Yeah, so it's like
pretty much, you know.
It's wild to think back now. It just makes you question literally anything. I don't fucking trust anything I fucking see in the news anymore. Nothing, dude. Not a fucking thing.
I talked about on that Power Hour we did one time when we talked about all the vaccine shit. That second dose of COVID, that vaccine, started immediately in my neck, stiff upper back, went to my armpit and settled like left pec. Till this day, I have still a kind of a lump there to the point where next year I'm going to Vancouver to get the full body MRI scan, just in case.
Really?
You like your doctor's getting it for you? Or are you paying for it?
I'm paying for it.
You're paying for a PET scan?
We should go to Turkey.
Yeah,
we should go to
crazy.
Turkey. We can probably fly to Turkey and get hair while we're there too.
They're doing, we might be getting like part of our union, the IAF. We might be getting like yearly PET scans as a routine thing.
I thought it was gonna be way more expensive when I looked. It was only like $2,200. That's not bad. To get a private knee or MRI, it's like $1,100.
Yeah, but who's getting that? I'm just living with no ACL. I'm like,
me too.
That's the way of the road.
I
got no ACL.
I'm getting the full body. They take pictures of everything. If you got an injury, you can find it. If you got cancer, they'll find it. Maybe they'll find something you probably wish you didn't find. I don't know.
Totally.
That'd be honestly, my word.
What was that vaccine? That vaccine for me was almost 4 years ago.
Ryan, why do you have a light bulb up your ass?
I like the way it feels.
Hey, what are the odds you put some up there before this again?
Like a little Hot Wheel or something just for fun.
That'd be funny.
I don't know how to tell you this, but
1 in a million shot, Doc.
Yeah. So I mean, personally, I think I'm not vaccine injured. It didn't like ruin my life or anything, but immediate reaction that never went away. Doesn't affect my day-to-day life, but I still feel there's a little bump. My doctor's poked and prodded, and she says it's just a swollen lymph node. It's not rubbery. It's not like she's not concerned about it anyway.
Like hard?
No, it's not. It's just like it's a swollen lymph node, like something like it's an autoimmune response to something that just never went away.
An experimental vaccine.
Perhaps. I asked her about it, and she's a pretty cool doctor. She goes, "I'm not going to doubt you. I've heard lots of stuff. It's hard to prove, but you know your body. If you want to, I can't recommend something. That's not like something I would recommend. But if you want to pay for something, go for it. I was like, all right.
Why wouldn't a doctor recommend a fucking PET scan?
Because it's not like, if it was hard and rubbery and like actually like a growth, or she thought it was, she'd probably do something. But she's like, it's like you got like a
Well, I'm assuming all your blood
cold
markers
and
are
it
normal,
never
right?
unswelled.
But then all your blood markers and everything are normal. You don't have the elevated.
Yeah, exactly. There's no like
blood
markers.
cells,
It's just like a weird, it's like it caused like an immune response that like transferred from my like the lymph nodes in my neck to my upper back to my armpit, and that kind of like stayed swollen. And that's about it.
Weird. So you got one titty.
And Cass in my band, singer in my band, he got the COVID vaccine. He couldn't sing for 4 months. He had short breath. He couldn't like. He's like, I'll never again. Never.
No, I'd never. I should have. What? I mean, they made it so difficult to not get those first two.
100%, dude.
Right? They made it so difficult. Like, I would have got fired from my job.
Yep.
Like, had I not got the first 2 doses.
The nurses who got fired in Kelowna, I think, were just allowed to come back now.
We haven't rehired the paramedics that were fired.
Years, 5 years later, dude.
Yeah. Oh, I had to, or else I wouldn't have kept my job. And like I'd never my entire career ever gotten one of the flu vaccines. I always false reported.
Sure. Yeah.
Busted. But I always, but this, they got me. I drank. There was no way around that. I even asked the lady when I was at the table. I was like, "So,
dude, the fear campaign was like next level."
Yeah, it was insane.
And then it's the fact that there was so much money made, so much.
That's crazy.
It's not like they gave them a deal on the vaccine, like, oh, for the greater good of humanity. Share prices went through the roof. Everyone made tons of money.
How did we let that happen? At what point, as a civilization, were we like that? It's okay to profit off this type of things. Like, it's fucking so absurd. It makes no sense to me that we okay this as a human race. That it's perfectly fine for these companies to profit off of fucking people's fucking lives this way. Like, it's fucking nuts.
And people who
like our doctors have incentives to prescribe us medications that we don't need.
Should be the last resort.
We don't want to talk about diets or fucking health, lifestyle, anything like that, but we'll prescribe you a fucking medication.
Number 1 should be mental health, pharmaceutical.
Number 3,
last resort.
No fucking root canals.
100%. Yeah, get those fucking needles out of my mouth.
Fucking fillings. I'm not. Fuck that.
But isn't that fucking crazy? Like, how is that? Of course.
The media is a powerful mechanism for control. There's no doubt.
Oh,
if we had in our lifetime, like say like in another 10 years, there's another like COVID out like break, and they go,
people will just
and they
die
say, say, you have to take another 2 doses. Are you taking the doses?
There's
They do the same campaign again. They say
like a brand new vaccine again, experimental out of nowhere,
and they go, you got to get 2. You can't go anywhere.
Telling you right now, I will fucking become a card-carrying either Muslim or boot, whatever the fuck I have to, get religious exemption. I promise you to keep my job. I will, 100%. I promise.
If it happens again,
Allah Akbar, inshallah, Allah. Like, I'm ready.
If it happens again,
I got a fucking yoga mat right back there.
My mom will look like a saint compared to my conspiracy mind, where it will go. That'll be it for me. I'll be down the rabbit hole deep. I'll be fucking Brandon Williams. I'll be a sovereign citizen. I'll be
fucking no recourse, living in the bush.
Nothing, dude. I'm not getting nothing.
I was thinking about this. Me and Jamie were kind of talking about it the other day. It's like, we have 3 kids now. When they're older, right? They're obviously gonna. This is such a like historical period. Like, they're gonna learn about it, right, in school and shit. But then the funny thing is like they're gonna teach it as 100% is like, there's this. Oh, they had a vaccine. And then they're gonna be like, "Yeah, that was crazy." And you're gonna be
Dr.
like,
Fauci saved us.
And then you're gonna be like as a parent, you're gonna be like, "The government lied."
Yeah,
like, you cannot trust them.
You
cannot trust your books. Autopen, baby, they pardoned fucking whatever for the last 14 years.
They pardoned Fauci.
Yeah,
full pardon for a blanket pardon for anything he could be implicated.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
which makes me wonder. Because the real Anthony Fauci, if that was a fictional book, is grounds for lawsuit, right? There's a lot of
Yeah,
shit.
he would be sued.
Yeah.
RFK would be getting his ass fucking sued.
Oh yeah, 100%. And that's always been his point. Is he's been like, I'd be sued.
What was the drug? It's been a while since I looked into it. But
Oh,
the drug, it was the AIDS drug, right?
Yeah, the AIDS drug was it the African people that he gave
Like
it
the
to?
experimental
Women?
AIDS.
Yeah,
AIDS
where he
drug,
killed, or they're Indians. Were they not? They're Indian, I think.
Yeah, I have to look back in the story more, but like, trust the science. You know that slogan: trust the science, trust the science. Like, dude, I trust the scientific method 100%, and just trusting the science is kind of the opposite of the method.
Well, the crazy
the scientific
thing is,
method is like, here's the vaccine, here's this, we're gonna put it for public review. All these independent researchers will be able to present their findings publicly, and we can make a meta-analysis and blah blah.
no, what we should have known is when they said
that shit
trust the
didn't happen.
science, what that mean is they were about to commit atrocities on us, because that's the only time they've made great leaps and bounds in medical science is when they were fucking doing tests. Like after World War II, they're just like, how much pressure can this guy hold before his eyeballs pop out of his head?
Yeah, no shit.
Like those are the only times we've leaped and bound like scientific knowledge of like the medical system is.
It's crazy that like
just committed atrocities
I
on
don't
other
know,
humans.
man. I was so of the mind though. I'm like, why wouldn't I trust these? Like these people tell me how to do my job. I learn from them. They're like, I do these. You know, this is how I intervene and save people's lives and use these drugs. And you know, so now they're telling me that this is something that I need to take because it's. You know, I'm like, of course, why not?
Dude,
like,
you know what this did to me though too, and I've said it a couple of times too, is when because people come up to me and they'll ask me conspiracy stuff and big ones, and usually the argument someone who's a skeptic will say is like, but how many people would have had to be in on it? And you're like, dude, how many people were in on the fucking COVID one? Like, dude, it didn't take a lot. It took some legislation,
mass hysteria,
to make people's lives very difficult, and that was it. Right? Like,
well,
it didn't take long. And then they just silence anyone that had anything else to say.
Well, and that, like, I got in that argument at work at the coffee table because when we were talking about, you know, Carney taking over in the WEF agenda and basically using the guise of a environmental, you know, pandemic or emergency to start influencing and, you know, pushing fucking laws and taking over like the big, you know, the conspiracy. And he's like, nobody's gonna let that happen. People aren't gonna fucking just, you know, people aren't gonna be scared and just basically follow their commands. And I'm like, we just did. It just happened. We all just bent over right away. We're all just like, oh yeah, okay, well, let's lock ourselves in our houses for fucking 2 months. I'm like, they just proved that they can do this to us.
Dan, you've sure been quiet.
Yeah. You know what's funny? You know what is genuinely funny about that though is like if we were talking like this and Dan was on the podcast, he would be this quiet. He would not be saying anything. He'd be cringing. We would have lost him at Ostrich.
Yeah.
Ostrich.
He's having a great time right now.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's fucking at a
Sanook
nightclub right
Mac.
now, just having
Sanook
a
Mac.
good time.
I actually think he might be in transit. No, he's not in transit. He should be there now. He left
so he's
Thursday.
going transit straight to a facility and having a fucking time. Like
Dan's
Oh, yeah,
fucking drunk right now, having the time of his life.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
He better tell us all about it because we live through him now.
Yeah.
He's the guy.
That's all we got left.
That's it. He's the last
We
man
get 2
standing.
stories from Dan a year. He goes to Thailand twice a year. We get stories from him. Can't wait. We gotta get him drunk though, so he tells them all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He won't
And then
tell you sober.
We get about 4 months of chill Dan when he's back until he starts to get built up. That
And he
tension
gets
starts to
angry
build
again.
up.
I'd like
He
to
needs another
know.
release.
I'd love to know. Like, we should do the math at the distance between Dan's last trip to Thailand and the fucking Yuba County 5 situation. Because that was like peak fucking Dan.
He was so mad at us.
Oh, he lost it. That
He lost
he
his shit.
he broke that night.
It broke. That was the only time he really broke though.
Bad.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
bad though.
Bad.
That was pretty bad. Because you edited it, right? But it was bad.
I edited the fight out.
Yeah, we fought. It was
Yeah,
bad.
We had a little
Yeah.
screaming match there for a second.
I was like, we're fighting over a bunch of retarded guys. They got lost in the woods, guys. Let's take it back here. It's chill. All right. There was one normal guy that manipulated a bunch of guys with autism and Down syndrome and obviously lured them into the woods. Why are we all fighting?
Oh man, that was bad.
It's a true case.
I'm telling you though, could you take yourself away from being part of it? And like, if you were just like, oh, I like this podcast, good time, and genuinely getting a chance to listen to them fight would be amazing.
Oh, behind the scenes?
Yeah,
Really?
like that would be like, people probably would have paid good money for that.
Well, people watch it live, I think, fucking heard it, did they not?
Yeah,
I don't. Yeah, they must have. Or did you cut it short because it went fucking?
I cut the video and I cut the audio later. I was like, this is not for public eye.
That's so funny.
Like mom and dad fighting, right? You're supposed
Don't
to
fight often.
fucking behind the closed door.
But when we do, we slit throats.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah. I mean,
No,
the whole COVID era, all that. Fuck that. That sucked.
We got to talk about it though. Like, it almost like I feel lighter talking about it because I'm like, I carry so much. I'd rather relive the Boston Pizza sucky like 10 times
over and over again.
Think about
lose some brain
what
every
happened.
Time. The
Honestly.
craziest, the vaccine. I wish it was better. I
wish
think
I could
everyone
pull
does.
it out of my body.
I wish it were like what it actually worked really good right away. It was like smallpox vaccine, like smallpox has disappeared.
Dude, and the
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
the problem
Like it actually did something.
I think the twofold problem though is that like one for me is like the mRNA technology, like because I was looking into that prior to the COVID vaccine and like CRISPR and stuff, and like the applications of like how that could change. It's like all the trust, the trust in that is gone. But then I also think I'm like, it's fucking, is it? Because there's so many just fucking sheeple out there that just go with the wind. It's like all these people, the same people that were fucking like, you know, fucking, hey, we're not doing the shot. They're like, how can I get an Ozempic shot? You know, like, and it's dissolving my bones and making my bones lighter.
But I look hot. I'm skinny.
Dude, the other way about it though is
I look so good.
The other way about it, you mentioned earlier, like World Wars, when all like the field trauma and like doing surgery was because of the atrocities of war. The other spectrum of the mRNA stuff is, so we had all this research been done, and that technology, if done correctly, maybe could target a cancer gene and actually turn it off. Maybe after all, maybe that's like the future is like, all right, this one sucked, fuck that one up, but in the future, this like gene editing, targeting technology, we're like, all right, so this is the gene that causes cancer, and we can turn that off. Maybe in generations to come, they look back at all this stuff and like, we learned from that one, and this one works.
And all of a sudden, everybody's got hair and no cancer.
Oh, dude,
optimism. I like you know what? A little optimism doesn't hurt.
There's a vaccine,
but I don't buy it. There's no money in curing. There's only money in treating. Big Pharma's never gonna let that shit.
No, there's money in curing if you charge a ton for the cure.
Yeah, but thousands. Yeah, I guess if it's only for the upper echelon of society.
Well, and that's what this will be, right?
Well, like, I mean, there's no saying that all treatments have to be privately owned by like corporations and stuff. What if it was done at like the Mayo Clinic, governments bought it together, and there was no like shareholders of there are other avenues of,
all right, you sound like systems. A socialist now, Zell.
Yeah.
Hey,
all right, calm.
I love social talk. I
haven't done with this.
I love coattail riding. I love getting my shit for free. Actually, I heard because there's a time and place for socialist ideals.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yes.
And the problem with it is
Russia.
It doesn't work. That's communism. A little different.
Yeah. Same.
No, well, we have a lot of socialist stuff. Public. Anything
I
public is socialist.
The fire department,
emergency medical services, police force. That's all socialist.
Yeah.
Healthcare. Universal healthcare is socialist. That's a socialist idea.
100%.
So if there's no saying that if there was a cure or like a treatment for cancer that was integrated into the socialist universal healthcare system that didn't turn massive profits, it could work. People would still make lots of money. Not as much. All right. Let's not get got to limit the greed somehow. Let's use that gene editing technology to limit greed first.
There
we go.
That would be cool.
That the fucking thought process, the genetic thought process that inspires greed in people.
I mean, we can do that with psychedelics.
Everyone does mushrooms together. We create the cure for cancer. The world's a better place.
I'm into it. Let's do it.
Drink ostrich blood.
Yeah.
Bathe in it.
Bathe in it. Put it in your
Make it
eyes.
do cream. Put it in your
Up your
eyes,
nose.
yep.
Hoop
Snort it.
Get it up your ass.
Hoop it.
Yeah. Whatever.
Butt chugs.
Get it
Yeah.
in you.
You know, that shit absorbs right away. It just bypasses all your filters right in. That's the good shit.
That's what actually when if you remember when Trump was like, if there was any way to get the UV in you,
Do a cleaning.
he was talking Q code, about ostriches.
Are those guys still around?
Q?
Yeah. Or are they gone?
Yeah, oh yeah, dude.
Are they
Trump's-
win? Are they the guy?
Trump's-
Like they.
Yeah, Trump's still just fucking dropping little
bombs?
Q
Qs?
little Qs,
Dropping Qs.
dropping Qs for them, little breadcrumbs for them to follow.
Crumbs spelled with a Q.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quums.
Quums.
Crumbs.
Bread quums.
Breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
Ostrich.
That's good. Ostrich is the fucking highlight. I mean, but
The
I mean,
ostrich.
listen,
The case of the Edgewood ostrich farm.
we're obviously joking, but there's a lot of parallels in the government coming
Yeah.
in. But in this case, the ostriches. are
It's
the
fucking
Jewish-
sad,
they're
man.
sick.
They're
They don't have a
animals.
choice.
They're fucking.
Big
wouldn't-
animals.
Yeah, they're not beautiful, but they're cool.
They're cool looking.
They're fucking cool. They're dinosaurs.
And they
Well, I'm
can't
just like-
fly. So spread
It
is
goes
low.
back to like I don't think like any government shouldn't have that kind. I understand what you're saying is like, well, they have to make exceptions for all. It should be a case by case basis. That's how it
Should
should
be.
work.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be a blanket because that's not how life is. Rules don't always work for every situation. A blanket set of rules. So there should be in these kind of situations case by case basis.
White, blonde hair, blue-eyed people shouldn't take over the world, okay?
Yeah.
Well, they didn't.
It didn't.
Tried.
But they could have. You know, a few months away. Maybe they got the bomb first. It would have been a world with a different Billy. Way different
Maybe
place.
not going into Russia.
Yeah, during
Bad
the winter.
idea. Russia in the winter.
Bad
Tried that a
idea.
couple times. Didn't work out.
But they ended up going to Argentina, and that worked out pretty good.
Yeah, that has
did.
worked out good for them. I mean, they got off scot free. All of them that went there. Little Bavarias in
They're
Argentina.
living in Antarctica under the ice right now, actually. Planning their takeover. They're watching the news right now. They're like, this is the time.
I can't even imagine.
America's pulling out of the European defense, NATO defense. They're like, this is our time. We're back, baby.
I honestly can't even imagine like thinking about like government information, how it gets released, how little we know actually about how and when World War II ended. That like I imagine like most of the higher ups like didn't really face any kind of fucking
No one with power really faces discipline.
no.
Ever.
It
It's
was
the
all
plebs, you
fell
know?
it all fell on the fucking people, right?
Dude, it's the old term of young men who don't know each other going to war to kill each other for old men who do know each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like they don't
And we fall
all these
for it every
fucking
time.
all these world leaders know each other. And for whatever reason they decide like this could be good for the economy or good
Yeah,
for
all it
this,
takes
that,
is
and the
one-
other
military
thing.
industrial complex.
It
right?
all
Yeah.
it takes is one old guy to stay elbows up, and then everyone's fucking on board.
Meanwhile, Mark Carney said about 1 minute of dialogue during a 45-minute interview.
Oh, he's the worst.
But in his defense, how do you talk with Trump? The guy just talks nonsense. Like
I actually
how
thought
do you,
he
how do you
did-
jump in there?
I didn't think he did terrible with Trump.
No,
I think he was pretty eloquent. I didn't mind that. I just think he's a shady, shisty piece of shit. There's no
So, I
way
mean, you
around it.
can't really talk at Trump because he just talks so much.
Buddy, he's
You
the
never-
king of shit talking.
Yeah. I
He is
don't
the
know.
king of shit talking.
He's
it's true.
hilarious.
Yeah.
If he wasn't the most powerful man on the planet with all the nukes, he is a comedian. He's a comedian. The shit he
Dude,
says is funny.
he's an entertainer.
Yep.
First and
a-
foremost, like an entertainer.
Put him back in WWE.
The guy's in the
He's
Hall of
in
Fame.
the Hall of
He's already reached the top.
Right? He's already he took a stunner, dude. He took a
Yeah,
stunner.
he did.
It's insane. He fucking
Crazy that
punched Vince
Mark
McMahon
Carney's
in the
not
head.
taking a stunner. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Mark Carney's
He
head will
turned to
just pop
dust.
off. He is a skeleton.
He's a little Mr. Burns. He's a little creep.
All right. Well, if you're
Social
listen, hey, if we're talking about ostriches and it's you're like it's pulling your heartstrings, you're like I want to help the ostriches. You can fucking search up ostrich farm, GoFundMe or DuckDuckGo or Go Give.
Ah, fuck that. Hop on our Patreon, donate to us, and we'll we'll talk about it more.
to them. I'll call my Uncle Dave, who has a share in the ostrich farm. I'll tell him that we're trying our best.
Yeah.
You get to patreon.com/alientheorists you donate to us, and as a collective, on your behalf, we will send thoughts and prayers to the ostriches.
There you go.
All right.
Well said. Right? That was well said.
Yeah, you gotta go to alientheorist.com. You gotta be like this one beauty this week. One soul beauty signing up for Patreon.
One every week, baby.
Deanna Gunnels.
Let's go, Deanna Gunnels.
Absolute legend.
You're the best.
Single-handedly kept us going
Lights
this
on,
week.
baby. Let's go.
She bought 2.5 beers for the boys.
Fuck yeah, Deanna.
Cheers. Appreciate it. Drink that ostrich blood. Keep yourself young.
Don't get root canals.
No root canals.
Yeah.
Make sure you take all of our medical advice very
100%. It's all, and none of this was satire or comedy. It's all legit medical advice.
We're all
YouTube. The YouTube AI that's gonna listen to this and ban us.
We sleuthed it. We know all about it.
I might have to ban this immediately from YouTube, or it will actually.
Let's get ahead of it. Let's get ahead of it.
We should just
ban ourselves.
If you're watching live, congratulations. If not, then stay tuned for the podcast version.
And
not available
as we
on YouTube.
always say at the end of these things, keep those eyes on the skies.
Peace.
If you just put it unlisted on YouTube, I can download it and put it on Patreon.
Right now, it's public.
This was public.
Is anybody watching?
No.
Check. Oh, yeah, couple.
Let's go. Good job, guys. We appreciate you.
And we're finally banned from the internet.
That case file was after ours. The boys are just shooting from the hip.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
Fuck. I don't care.
Yeah, I love talking ostriches with the boys.
Yeah, fucking right.
Something that's finally something I'm passionate about.
Been waiting years to talk ostrich.
Buddy, I love ostriches.
I was just hoping one of you guys would bring it up one day. Such a stigma.
Until this all happened, I forgot about the ostrich farm.
You know what's funny?
It brought back all these childhood memories. Like, oh yeah, we went to this fucking ostrich farm before.
You brought it up. You brought it up months and months ago about like your uncle trying to burn them and getting in trouble. Like burn some bodies, ostrich bodies.
Burn to the ditch.
Burn bodies.
Yeah, or something like he was trying to burn like an ostrich, or I can't remember. I can't remember the ins and outs of it, but it was months and months and months.
Slandering his Uncle Dave? Is that what you're doing?
But what happened was like either they were burning a dead ostrich on the property, something got in trouble and it made the news, and you were like, that guy's my uncle, or you said, I can't remember, but I remember you telling me about the ostriches, like probably like a year ago. I feel like
my uncle has never. He's not really on the property ever. He just was an investor early on.
He's behind
to make money off ostrich oil.
He's like, what do you do for work? I'm an oil man.
Ostrich oil.
See, he's a step uncle, estranged. Once my dad's stepdad died, because there was a split family, we never talked to like that side. They called them the Royal Belinsky's. So my uncle had a logging business in Folk here, this tiny little town right by Edgewood. Was like the kingpin of this tiny town because he had the only job.
Was the racket.
Like if you wanted to live in Folk here, you had to work for my grandpa. So when my dad's real dad died in a logging accident, he blew up a fucking fuel truck.
Oh yeah,
shit!
I remember that.
Alcoholic. Drove off the cliff at like 4 a.m. in the morning, blew up. So my grandma remarried, probably because she had no other choice because there's no one else in town. She remarried Mike Belinsky, which was my grandpa.
Married into that fucking ostrich money is what she
into
did.
the fucking logging cult. Right? The logging mafia.
Yeah.
So the Royal Belinskys. So the Zelznick side of my family, when they were young, got no money or anything, and all the Blinskys got everything. So the Zelzniks and Blinskys
Oh, so
never
they
got
called
along.
them the Royal Blinskys.
Some of the Zelzniks called them the Royal Blinskys.
Oh,
And this
that's
is
so
for
funny.
sure why my dad had like such a chip on his shoulder and worked so hard his whole life, because he fucking wanted to be more successful than his stepdad.
That's fucking awesome.
That was like all he lived for. That's like, I'm just gonna have more money.
So your dad is like, your dad's the person that made those the fucking Zelzniks like fucking wealthy and shit. Just that he didn't inherit anything.
Just himself.
Fucking
The rest.
Well, yeah, you know what I mean. Though it's coming down the line.
No,
one day.
when my grandpa died, he had a lot of money.
Oh, okay, yeah.
No Zelzniks got any money.
Really? That's fucking. Your dad's fucking rad, man. So your dad's just a self-made guy.
So my dad, that 100% why my dad works so hard, because he's
But at the cost of being happy.
well 100%. You can't have
Spite, dude. He's doing it out of spite.
Spite is a powerful motivator.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
He's not so spiteful in his old age. He's actually kind
No.
of as a grandpa.
They get soft.
I was like, what the fuck was that my whole life, you little fucker?
They get soft when they get old.
Where was
man.
like the normal fun guy?
You got to
forever?
get your dad on some TRT, and then he'll show your kids what's up. You get little flashes.
I'm pretty sure my dad
Let's
is
bring-
on TRT. To be
Let's
honest.
bring him
He
back.
probably is. Let's be honest. He probably is.
Because he got his knee surgery,
Yeah.
and I think he got on a little something.
Yeah.
Why
little
not?
BPC,
Why not?
little TRT.
Well, for healing, number one, to heal a little
Yeah.
faster, got
Yeah.
on a couple things, some peptides and some other stuff.
Yeah. BPC, baby.
He's embarrassed to tell me, and I go, Dad, I don't care. I hope
It's
you got on
dope.
that stuff.
I hope you're
Yeah,
on that.
get on
shit.
that shit.
Yeah.
If you have money to buy it, you should buy
Yeah.
all the stuff you can to make your life better.
100%.
Man, if my old man got on TRT, I'd probably have more in common with him. We'd have stuff to talk about. Be cool.
I mean, the expense of my dad is like, besides work, I have nothing in common with him.
I don't think I have anything in common with my dad.
No, it's me.
Nothing.
Me and my
We're both
dad.
cheap, actually. That's the only thing I think.
The expense is, or the only thing I have in common is, my whole life I was like, I probably won't be like my dad, and now I'm older. I'm like, I'm just like this motherfucker. I just build stuff.
It's crazy, man.
So
Just
mad.
build stuff. I'm the same grumpy dad now.
crazy.
Oh, dude.
Hopefully just not as mean in the end.
Yeah.
That's my only goal.
There's one thing to be agitated with kids and like you just get like you're like, oh my god, but it's like there's a different level that our dads were like.
Well,
There's like
dude.
2 more levels above what I'd never want to get there.
I don't know. I never got to see your dad, Zell, growing up. Really, I never got to see it. But like, Brain's dad was like.
Well, you
next
work with
level.
them, right?
He was
Yeah.
next level. That guy's
Oh, yeah.
Rob's next. It doesn't help that me and Rob really butt heads, like bad,
Oh, yeah.
like
Oh, yeah.
bad.
Yeah, yeah.
Like we're just. I don't know why, but it is what it is.
Because you're the same height,
Maybe that's
Brain's
what it
probably
is.
my dad.
Yeah.
They're
right?
kind of the same in the way, but Rob is way more. He's Red Rob. Like he gets way
Yeah.
more mad, like
Yeah.
visibly and like directly mad. Where my dad is extremely condescendingly mad,
Oh, that would make me mad though.
which is even worse sometimes.
Yeah, that would be worse.
You get
I
that
don't know.
feeling of condescension, like he's better than you and he knows more, and you know that he actually does know more,
Yeah,
and
that's
he is
hard.
probably better at that. And you're like, oh,
I feel like I would just bow down. I'd be like, okay, yeah. You're fucking...
yeah, I did, 100%. There's no other. What else you can do?
Whereas Rob, I just get just as ramped up. Just, what you fucking what?
Yeah, my dad the other day, he was here visiting last week, and they were asking like what kind of sports you can put the kids in and whatever. And I said one of the things I was like, oh well, we'll probably put them in jujitsu when they're a little older. My dad's like, it's useless, and I'm like, what? 'Cause he like did taekwondo, and then he's like, remember my buddy? And he had this friend that was like a jujitsu artist or practitioner or whatever you call him, and when they used to. Like when I was a kid, he used to come over and like spend like a weekend at our house, or whatever. And they'd spar on the trampoline, like hard wrestle with like boxing gloves on the trampoline.
Your dad,
And-
this guy?
Yeah, and like they
Hilarious.
fuck around on the trampoline, right?
Your dad's throwing kicks, eh?
No, they're just punching, jumping, like launching each other off into the sand and stuff. And my dad's like, "Yeah, remember this guy who did the jujitsu? It didn't help him on the trampoline ever." And I'm like, "What?" And I was like, "Are you fucking serious? Are you for real right now?" I got so surprised. Like, he didn't use jujitsu on you while you're jumping.
Trampoline doesn't lie, brother.
I was like, wait, on the trampoline, where does that carry on to real life? What is my kids gonna play fucking slam ball? Like, is that the trajectory for my kids? I started laughing. He got so mad, and we just stopped talking to each other at dinner. It's just like,
That's
I was like, oh,
funny.
he's too mad. And I
He
was
just would love one time for you to just fucking float his ego a bit. Like, oh yeah, Dad, I remember you being sweet on the trampoline.
like,
That's all he wanted.
Yeah, he would
That's all he
I
wanted.
I
He
can't.
would love it.
I know. Yeah, that's all he wanted.
I can't do it. I
I
can't.
remember him making us stop working so we could see how high he could kick.
That's true. Yeah.
Probably like 5 times.
And you know what? If he ever brought up in conversation that he could kick really high, I would be like, yeah, you can legit kick high. It's impressive.
He can.
How fucking
It is impressive.
short,
He can kick over.
how
his head.
short and fat you are that you can
Yeah.
whip your leg that fucking high in the air.
It
It
is.
is goddamn
It's impressive.
impressive. It should be. It looks to be against physics.
Yeah.
How he
does. It
kicks
doesn't
is
look
insane.
natural.
It
I'll
doesn't
never
even make
forget him
sense.
showing off his kicks, and then Dale just walks by and like throws him in a headlock and puts him on the ground, chokes him out. Like, fuck.
Yeah,
It's
well,
horrible.
I mean, you can kick, but like,
He can kick.
you can kick. That's good.
Kicking's only so good till someone gets a hold of you.
Well, kicking
Oh,
great.
dude.
Yeah.
But if you can land a kick, it's the hardest strike you could do.
Yeah,
so
2 kicks.
you can actually get it.
We've heard the story is 2 kicks.
2 kicks. Dude, that was fucking crazy.
Like one of those like spinning heel kicks or something, like some
Dead.
crazy hard kick, you'd be dead.
Dead.
If it actually
Dead.
hit you. They're just fucking dead.
I know. I did think about that all the time at jiu-jitsu because obviously I'm not nearly as good as all these other guys, and we start from standing and everybody's doing.
Are you
this
going to
thing.
the next level place with the
Yeah, I've been going to RDC.
RDC?
That's like it used to be called RDC, and now Sterling had to change the name because they got sued or something like that
Oh.
by Cobra Kai. But everything you do
Sued
there,
Oh, is that why they have the Cobra Kai? fucking
that's what
sticker on the
used to.
back, or
That was their
mural?
thing. That's all their gis had Cobra. Like back in the day when I used to go, that's how it was. But I think about it all the time when we're fucking getting ready to roll and you got to do takedowns and stuff, and I'm like, I could have fucking pieced this guy up.
Punch you in the nose, right?
I'm sitting there thinking that the whole time, and they're like strangling me. And I'm like, I'd punch you right now. I gotta fucking punch you in the face 500 times. And they're just strangling me with their legs.
Yeah,
It's
I can
horrible.
see, like, because I before was like, probably never get in an altercation again, like in my life with someone.
Never,
I was, like,
hopefully,
thinking about
never,
that.
hopefully, never
Never.
again.
And then I've been hearing stories of my friend who's taking his kid to hockey.
Oh
He's just
yeah.
like- and he's just like, dude, I might beat up this other dad. Like, we
Oh, yeah, that
legit might-
happens.
we might
No,
fight. Dude, he will not stop talking shit, and he's a prick. And I'm like, there's dudes like that? And he's like, yeah, dude.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
like, it's brutal. And I'm like, ooh, oh no. Oh
Buddy.
no. Dude, all these chirps have been building up. I might be in trouble.
Remember that guy that played for Armstrong? He was really good. Had the fucking like kind of like the vulture neck.
Pounder?
Didn't look athletic at all. No, he's skinny. He was like their
Oh, yeah.
17. The fucking I think his number was 17. He like was skinny and gangly, but a bigger guy. But he was really good for some reason. Had a great outside shot.
Yes. Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
his fucking name?
We called him Wangles. Remember Tommy Wangles?
Tommy Wingles. Yes,
Tommy
that's what I
Wingles.
called him.
Oh,
That wasn't his name. Stop calling me Tommy Wangles.
He used to get so mad, but me and him were chirping at the tournament last week because his kid fucking cross-checked my kid in the back, and I'm like, "What the fuck, man?" Like, but it just happens. Like you can't help it.
You
He's
should've
coaching
said-
the other
you should
team.
have been
where-
like Tommy Wingles.
oh, dude,
Oh, you
I would
should've.
never,
That'd be
like-
awesome.
Yeah.
we were fucking chirping a little bit. It was good.
Oh, dude, I used to
and
get
then just
into it.
comboed him off the
on the
bleachers.
bench.
Well, he was talking like we were talking shit because we obviously recognize each other too, and he's like, "Fucking," I can't even remember what he said, but made a fucking joke about me being a spooner. I'm like, you're fucking 100% right, but I'm like, I played a sport that you fucking played your entire life with a year and fucking you couldn't score, you bum.
Dude,
Like I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing.
one of the most ruthless ones I ever did to another coach, I was coaching junior, and Dave McWhirter, he used to be our coach, and I fucking hated that guy. He was coaching like the Vernon team, and he started fucking chirping me, and so I started chirping him back, and then he was just being a dick. And his kids were at the glass, and I said, "Hey, Dave, get your ugly kids away from the glass. I'm going to Boston Pizza after. I don't want to lose my appetite." And he got so fucking mad. I thought he was gonna kill me.
That's hilarious.
He actually might have killed you though. That guy was a little bit insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with these guys. Lacrosse, psychos, man.
Oh yeah,
Psychos,
dude.
dude. Psychos play box
Fucking
lacrosse.
crazy. But I get it.
Some of the craziest guys I know.
I get
play
it.
box lacrosse.
I understand it because I see it in my own fucking child and these little kids I coach. I promise you, they all hate it. No, none of them like lacrosse. These kids, because they can't. It's
have to
so
play.
hard. They can't pass to each other. They can't fucking score. They can't do anything. They're getting hacked. They're getting splashed. They all have tears in their eyes the whole time. Like, they hate it. So it makes them crazy. Like, it's my kid's crazy now. Like, he's crying. He's bawling his eyes out the entire time he plays, but he doesn't stop playing.
If you could have like a great marketing team to channel that like rage and aggression of lacrosse into like an actual good marketing campaign, it might be a successful sport.
Dude, I was talking to the fucking Vernon team.
Sport.
We're watching these fucking 5, 6, 7-year-olds play lacrosse. And I'm looking at the other coach, and these kids are getting knocked on their ass. They're getting slashed. They're getting cross-checked. They're scoring goals. And we're like, this is fucking awesome. You're like, this is super entertaining. Like, we couldn't believe, where everybody's looking at each other, being like, this is the best. Like, this is unreal. It was chaos, man. It's like Lord of the Flies. These little kids with sticks just mauling each other.
Dude, the NLL suffers from the same fucking shit as like the WNBA. Like, WNBA is like anti-Caitlin Clark, the biggest straw they've ever had. The NLL,
the Tiger Woods of the sport.
Angel Reese, buddy.
Yeah, dude, there's a great group of guys on TikTok, and they're a gambling TikTok, and they've been doing since the start of the season. They've been just doubling their first missed shot. Angel Reese, first missed shot. And they just double it up every time. They're sitting there like, here she goes, and she bricks one again. They're like, yeah. they're like up
shot every time.
I think they were the last one I saw. They were up to like $400,000. I'm just like,
seriously
going up like some serious fucking coin that they're putting on her, and they just keep doubling. They keep letting her ride. She just
airballs or puts it off the backboard.
So one thing I'm gonna miss is how, like, I'm not gonna be able to see how hilarious people are now that I'm going back to flip phone. Do you fucking see that video? I don't know if it's on TikTok or Instagram or anything, about dudes calling their buddies and telling them good night. It is the funniest fucking. For whatever reason, it's always it's always black dudes, and it'll be in the middle of the night, and they'll call their buddy and be like, "Yo, what's up? What up, bro?" Like, hey man, I'm just calling to say good night. Have a good night, bro. The guys are always like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" I'm telling you, there's a whole like mashup of these guys doing it. And you'll have fucking tears in your eyes, man.
Dude,
it's
honestly,
so
though, that's
fucking funny.
That's my reaction to any time someone calls me. Like, I have other buddies other than you guys. You two, and there's probably 2 other people that I accept a phone call from. But other people call me, and I'll be like, "Yo, what's going on?" And they're like, "Hey, how's it going?" I'm like, "Good. What's up with you?"
What's the problem? I got fucking 3 kids, dude.
And they're like,
"What do you
want?"
want?
Yeah, I'm just doing this. Voodoo, what's new with you? I'm like,
shut the fuck up.
What are we doing here? Why are you calling me? Do you need something from me? Like, we're friends. Just call me if you need something. Like, what do you mean? Why are you bugging me?
If you're in a bad spot, you can call me. Other than that, you probably don't need to call.
Listen. We're all guys. I know exactly what you're going through. You know exactly what I'm going through. It's all good. Call me.
I can talk to you in 10 years, and I'd be like, nothing. No time has passed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like Nick Evans. If Nick Evans called me, if I see him next, Nick Evans.
Yeah. He's got a giant neck.
Yeah, he's put on weight. That's what I call him now. That's what I call him now.
Out of control
fat now?
Yeah, he's fat. So I call him Nick Evans. Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's fat, but also muscular. So it's a weird combo.
It's a weird combo. He's got a giant neck, so I call him Nick Evans.
He's got a Rogan neck.
But I see him and don't miss a beat. We're still buddies. We'll always be buddies. Yeah. We'll always be friends.
You know who I seen actually camping? Joe Brown.
Nice.
Joe Brown.
He's got kids.
Yeah. Joe Brown, same thing.
He was 2 sites down. I was like, the fuck you doing here? He's like, I'm camping. I know that, but why is it? Oh yes, my whole street comes down here. There's a bunch of kids and families. We all come down here.
You're like, you're not drinking around them, are you?
He drank 3 beers in 2 minutes when I was talking to him.
Yeah, that guy's a menace. That guy
and then he said, "Hey man, I'd love to have a beer tonight or something, but I got to go play a game of slow pitch, and it's my buddy's birthday, so I'm taking a cab." He took a cab out of camping to go drink beers. It's like, you can't take one softball game off to hang out with the family. He's like, nah, I can't.
No, he's too competitive, dude. That's his life.
He's a stud though. He's a fucking good athlete, man.
In lacrosse,
you
get him on the ice, you fucking.
He wasn't a good hockey player.
Opinion.
No, and I don't know how much of it was like he was a good player, but he also put his body on the line, needlessly to get.
I've never seen anyone get cross-checked so many times.
Well, it's funny that you say that, because I always remember whenever like a practice I played defense about him, he would just run at you. Okay. And you just steer him into the boards.
Yeah. Like he also took the most amount of punishment to like accomplish.
Times 10.
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
worst part with Joe Brown though is like I remember I fucking dropped him one time, and it's like, oh god,
Now
Yeah,
he's
then
gonna kill you.
fucking mean Joe
it's
for the
like-
rest. Like I'm like watching the entire time, so I know
He's
he's
gonna
gonna kill
spear
me.
you. He's gonna slash
Yeah.
you in the neck.
And then
he's
everything's
next.
fine after.
Oh,
He's
he's a
gotta
beauty
get-
afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got to get you back.
Yeah, has to.
But no.
It's just funny.
Sports are-
Just crushing beers. Kids are just biking around. Just I was talking for like 10 minutes. He had 3 beers in 10 minutes. I was like,
It's
nothing's
crazy.
changed. This is awesome.
I can't tell you last time I had 3 drinks ever.
Tonight.
Well, I had like 10 beers actually camping,
I
but
had 2,
overall,
but I'm talking about
like
like me.
slow sipping.
Oh, dude, I'm about to be a full-blown alcoholic starting
But
Saturday.
you've been a full-blown alcoholic for a long time.
No.
Yes.
I just drink all the time.
Yes.
What are you talking about? I don't have a problem. I just drink
full blowing. I just
all
drink
the
a
time.
lot.
I brewed 60 bottles of wine.
Oh,
They're
God.
all going to be ready this weekend.
Yeah, but
That's what I'm talking
wine
about.
is not good for you. You're gonna put on way too
Good
much
for your
weight.
heart, dude. It's good for your heart.
The rose
You
veritol.
say whatever you need to say to drink that much wine, but it's not good for
I'm
you.
just not ready to watch you deep throat more fucking bottles.
You know what? You could get the same. you could
I
get
bought
the
some
same.
stubby bottles for you.
Thank God.
Dude, the same amount of benefit for your heart with drinking like a glass of grape juice here and there.
Yeah.
Grape juice? I'm not.
The
drinking
negative
grape juice.
effects of drinking wine outweigh the positives. That's fact.
I don't believe that.
It's
if you
fact.
want the positive, you could drink an unstrained,
There's
non-alcoholic
also not
grape
as
juice
fun.
once
Listen,
in a while.
I'm never gonna. I honestly, unless I had to, I enjoy having a casual drink. I'll probably never stop.
I'm right there with you. I don't think there's
Yeah.
ever be. I like to have a couple beers.
I like it. I don't have a problem. If I had a
I
problem,
don't-
maybe I'd
I
stop.
don't
have a
like
problem.
drinking 18 beers anymore. I don't like that. That's
No,
a bad,
no.
For like a couple hours of fun, it's a 2-day.
crushing fucking yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like if I get crazy with the boys here and we're recording, I'll do a bottle.
If
of
you
wine,
went on
and
a
that's like
pod
my limit.
weekend again out of town,
Ooh, oh yeah, boys.
that'd be a different story.
Oh my god,
It's just sad that that's probably never gonna happen again.
it'll happen. It will.
Think
We'll
so?
make it happen.
We don't-
Yeah, we'll will it. We got to will
No.
it into existence, boys. Not with
Okay.
those attitudes, it won't happen.
No, it's
Well,
not. It's not gonna happen.
I've got more
anytime
kids, and I'm saying it's gonna happen. We'll make it happen. We'll make it.
I'd
happen.
love it to happen. One more.
It's not gonna be right away.
Well, you know what? For you, it might be different if Jamie becomes a stay-at-home mom and doesn't work. You have more pull.
No,
to
she's
go.
got to go to work. She's got to go to work. Are you kidding me?
I don't know how you don't have daycare right now for Roman at all.
Because I'm
What are your What are your days?
24/7?
What are your days? like?
insane.
You don't get. You
insanity.
must get like 2 hours of free time a day, all 7 days a week.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, that's
That's
pretty normal
insane.
for me too.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
work.
too. I get. I mean,
well, yeah,
listen,
but when I'm
it's,
home,
that's no, it's
Yeah, but
it's-
going to
'cause
going to work's the
Roman's-
break.
Roman
Yeah.
still naps. Roman still naps. So I get like 2 hours when he's napping, and then he's not as feral anymore. So it's like if I have to do if I want to do some stuff in the yard, I can bring him with me, and he'll watch, and he'll
Right.
do stuff with me. He doesn't
You
just
bring
try
him
to
in the
like.
studio.
I could if I was doing some work in here, but he'd be like swing. He'd be like wee wee. I'd be like, all right, let's go to the swing. But like he's not as feral, so it's like, and the weather's nice, so it's like I'll hang out in the deck with him and like we'll dance, listen to music, we chill out in the deck.
But
But
then
then
dance mode, Bluey, or what?
no, dude. I had him in the garage yesterday, and I put on Divorced Dad Rock. First thing was Creed, and he was
Nice.
vibing out to Creed. So I gave him a broom, and we were both air guitaring with the broom. He didn't quite get the air guitar, but he's holding it and swinging it.
That's fucking dope.
And then Jamie was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe we have 2 more of these coming."
Dude,
Oh yeah, she's outnumbered, dude. She's gonna
Yeah.
try and beg you for a 4th.
no,
I
God,
told her
no.
I-
Girl,
I told her I'm gonna get her some cargo shorts because she's a boy mom now.
Yeah.
Better fucking get on it.
yeah, backwards hat, cargo shorts.
Did you figure out your vasectomy?
No, that's the weirdest fucking thing of all time.
You better figure
So
that
Why
shit
do you
out.
have
I'm
to
gonna-
pay?
It's not covered by MSP, and I'm like, but my friends just had it done this year, and it was covered by MSP. And they're like, as of January 1st, it's not covered by MSP, and I'm like, my friends had it done this year.
Yeah,
Both
I
of
got
them.
Crazy.
in February.
Yeah, and they're like,
We both got
Well-
ours in February.
yeah, and they're
Yeah.
like, well, they would have paid, and I'm like, they
No.
didn't pay, and they're
I
like,
didn't pay a
then they got
cent.
the scalpel version, and I'm like, they didn't. They got the fucking.
There
laser.
is no dude. Jackless doesn't do scalpel. There's no
Yeah.
option.
So it's so
didn't
weird.
get
to
it-
me.
Takes a
just-
hit. Maybe he takes a hit or something on the.
Just get a
So-
fucking wreck to see him.
That's what I'm gonna do. The second week, because we're right now we're just looking for a van, and as soon as we have a van, then we're gonna finalize when we want to come. We're thinking in either into July or August.
It's gonna fuck your trip though by sitting there being all fucking lit.
Oh yeah, it's a week of not fun.
A week? Well, I'll get it the last day and drive home.
Oh.
But I'll have a minivan. I'll just lay up in the back.
You can't get anything.
Actually, I don't know, dude. With
dude,
three
how
kids.
much is it? Is it $200? Just pay it. Who cares?
$850.
$850.
Yeah.
Yeah,
fuck that.
Because I thought it was $200, so I was like, oh fuck, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, no,
I'll do it.
I didn't pay nothing.
And I was like, $850. I was like, there's no way Andrew paid.
The only thing I paid was my dignity as almost fainting on the operating table.
Which is crazy because I was high as fuck, but it just wasn't that bad.
No, it wasn't that bad. It was the anticipation of going in.
Yeah.
When I got there, I was white, and he came out and he goes, "Are you okay? Are you sure you want to do this?" And Steph brought me because like I can't drive home after this. You have to bring me to the fucking. And I was like, I'm actually having like extreme feelings of dread right now, and I'm actually not sure if I can do it. He goes, "It'll be fine. You have to come." Like,
but it's fun. It'll be fun. Don't worry.
yeah, he's straight. He's Lebanese dude. He's so funny.
Wallah, baby, wallah, you'll be okay. I'll take care of
In a couple little snaps of the band, little solder and pinch, done.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. I was fucking on another.
My recovery is a little longer than I thought it would be.
Me too. I was
mine. It was like 10 days in. I was like, oh, everything's back to normal. And then like a couple weeks after that, my body was trying to reject the titanium clamps.
Oh, I never thought about that.
I had to call back and be like, "Is this normal?" He goes, "Oh, you just need a course of antibiotics and just lay off for a week or two." I was like, "Oh fuck."
Oh man, mine ache all the time. I feel it all the time. My nubs just ache.
I'm good now, but it was probably 2
Yours
months.
don't ache?
No.
Oh,
No
dude,
ache.
I'm talking to you right now. I can feel the nubs burning.
Well, that's
not good because you guys aren't selling me on this.
I will
I'm
say
back.
this
Don't
right
worry,
now.
I'm fine.
I've been
back.
fucking like, I don't know what it is. Well,
You've been fucking?
Not even fucking, just rip. JOs, buddy. JOs. I was JOing 3-4 days after. Like, it's the way the world.
I waited like 10 days probably.
I can't help it. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Yeah, you're pervert.
You're a psychopath.
I must be. I don't know what it is. There is a problem. I do. I'm a weirdo. I love too much. The minute I get any alone time, JO.
Oh, as soon as he logs off tonight.
Yeah. Oh yeah. JO. No, I'm gonna try and win tonight.
Oh, good luck.
I already warned. Well, it's been a while. I told her.
I've been winning a lot lately.
Yes. For the boys.
I'm back, baby.
That's fucking awesome. What's a lot?
Twice a week.
That's good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's a lot compared to.
I'm guaranteed once a week. It's like a fucking ironclad thing now. I like get to the point, and I'm like honest about it too, because I'm there right now where I'm like, you see hot girls and you're like, oh, this chick's hot, that's cool, and then you see hot girls and you're like, what's that? What's going on over there? Ooh. You know, and I'm like, I told her today, it's like I'm getting weird. I think I'm feeling weird. Just gotta do this. Getting weird.
I needs it.
I need it. I think, I'm weird. It's like, you know how it goes, like that clock, and then all of a sudden it's been like a while,
like
and
3,
like
4, 5 days in,
75%, 75% of your day is devoted to thinking about it.
Oh, dude, I
genuinely, like, it's all I can think about. I'm like, it's crazy. It's a problem. And that's why I don't want to be on hormone replacement therapy yet. I feel like I'd get a divorce. I'd be torqued all the time.
Yeah, I think you're still fine for a few more years.
Yeah, it would be fucked. It would not be good.
I got a sweet deal on an Aerodyne bike, by the way.
Just Airdyne.
Airdyne?
Yeah,
Aerodyne?
Airdyne. Just Airdyne.
$150. Dope
What
one.
brand? Which one is it? Your Schwinn?
Hold on, let me tell you.
It is a crazy workout equipment because no matter how hard you go, it just is harder.
It gets harder. The better you get, the harder it is.
Likey Fitness?
Send me a picture of it. Make sure you didn't get a fucking bunk one.
Okay, hold on.
Didn't buy a dud.
Does it got a little small fan or a big one?
Huge.
It's a huge one.
Okay, let me see.
I'm gonna send it in the chat right now. This one.
It's fucking sick. You got something like that you can just kind of like sit at your house and go and use.
Well, I'm getting the garage. Like I got the garage.
Oh yeah.
So
good job, man. That's a fucking good one.
we were like, okay, we're gonna start.
$150?
Yeah.
Good for you.
We're like, so I got to go pick it up Wednesday. But I was like, we said as soon as the babies come, I'm gonna get the garage organized, and then we want to kind of get stuff in the garage to kind of so we can exercise in there. And that was one of the things on my list that I really wanted to get. So I just I keep it's regular $9.99 on
Yeah, it's
Amazon.
a great
They're
dude. You
that
got a smoking
expensive?
deal on that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Insane.
Airdynes are super expensive.
It's just a bike with a fan, right? There's no it's not you don't plug it in or anything.
No. So
Seems like a low mechanical device.
no, it's a good one. So
How's
They're
they're expensive.
bones, eh?
Yeah.
I'm on the Peloton. Steph has a Peloton membership.
Nice.
you
Like on
guys have a
Peloton?
Peloton there?
Yeah.
That's
I hated it for like a year. I didn't want to go on it, and I started working on it. I was like,
Dude, I loved
This
going
fucking
to
rules,
spin
that
class. Honestly, if I didn't have kids, I would still be going to my
Ditch
5
the
a.m.
fucking
spins.
Peloton, start coming back to jiu-jitsu.
well, I can only go on Tuesdays at 11.
Buddy, you can come in. I go to the 6 a.m. class. It's awesome.
I'm getting up with kids at 5:45.
Yeah, that's
There's no chance I'm getting up.
like that's
fucking
my thing too.
perfect.
Jess lets you go at 6 a.m.
I go before work.
Oh, yeah. Dude, the
Oh,
6
you say,
a.m.
I have to go to the gym before work, and then you're
The
gone all
6
day.
a.m. right
Well,
now. is
nobody,
World War
buddy.
II.
My kids don't wake up that early.
I'm
That's
at 5:45
fuck
every
you.
day.
I want to
Oh,
On
yeah.
clockwork.
I want to
every
end this
single day.
right fucking now.
Oh yeah,
So
my kids.
sick to my stomach.
Yeah, but your kids probably go to bed. What time do your kids go to bed?
Roman goes to bed at 7.
Yeah, my
7:38.
kids. My kids are going to bed right now.
Yeah, but if my kid goes to bed right now, he wakes up at 5:45, 5:30.
Oh yeah,
No
no,
matter
my
what.
kids will fucking sleep, dude. My kids.
Well, it
will
makes sense
sleep
for
till
Niall
fucking-
because he's fucking almost 6. But
Yeah, but Bowen fucking
Bowen's good. He
sleeps
sleeps
until
that long.
7 usually.
but I guess if he goes to bed at 9, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same amount of sleep.
Mhm.
I love that 7:30 put down. Then I get 2 hours of something to do sometimes.
Oh yeah, no, we don't. That's everything we do. Niall is usually included.
Boys, I'm coming out of it. I feel like I'm getting some time back.
Nice.
I'm almost ready to pitch to Steph that I'm going to get 2 jams in a week again.
Nice.
It's like it's time for 2 jams, I think.
All right, hold
Right.
on. All right, let's do a little role plan. All right, I'm gonna be Steph. Brad, let's work on. Let's rehearse the pitch. Right, we got to perfect this over the next couple weeks.
Hey, Steph, I've been thinking the kids are getting pretty
Oh,
easy to
have
put
you?
to bed.
Yeah.
They're getting pretty easy to put to
You've been
bed.
thinking, hey? Oh, good.
And they sleep a lot longer and they don't wake up during the night. So, like, you're not waking up during the night now. So you're not super tired anymore.
Well, I am. You snore.
Don't tell me how I feel.
Yeah.
You have no idea how I feel.
I don't snore. I sleep on my side. You know that.
Mm.
I'm thinking about Monday podcast, Tuesday jam, and then also another jam on Thursday, and then
Ryan,
playing on Friday and Saturday night.
Tuesdays are my night. We've discussed
Yeah.
this.
Well, Tuesday. She actually
Tuesdays
says
were
it's-
her night,
She would
I
say it was
remember that.
Thursday. She said
Or-
Thursday's my
or
night. That is her bike night. But I will
Yeah.
say,
Thursday's my night, Ryan.
well, you work from home
Ryan.
3 nights a week. 3 days a week. You could bike during lunch.
Oh.
You can't jam during your
dude.
lunch?
Yeah.
No,
Why don't you
I
jam
can't
during your lunch?
Because there's four guys.
You're
in
one of
the
those
band and they all
fucking
work during
bums
the
is
day.
living in the basement, freeloading off us.
So 2 of the
can't-
4 could jam at lunch.
Yeah. How many people constitutes a jam?
You need a drummer. You need a
Pretty
drummer.
soon
for
I'm
a
gonna be
jam.
jamming this foot in your ass. You asking these stupid questions like this of me again.
Okay, maybe I'm not quite ready to ask, but I'm getting close.
Hey, it's a work in progress. So far, so
Dude,
good.
one
Yeah,
jam a
I
week
think
is just
you're good.
not enough to. It's enough to maintain, but it's hard to like write new songs or learn new songs, or it's impossible.
Yeah, I bet. Oh, all right.
All right, let's wrap this up.
Wrap it up.
I
Ostrich.
gotta go in. I gotta feed these fucking two
The ostrich
monsters.
cost. Save the ostrich.
Peace,
All right.
everybody.
Peace, everybody.
Peace.